Yeah, so today we'll talk about the accusative part 2. We've talked about part 1 in the first video, in the previous video. Now we'll talk about the second part, and let's start directly into it. So we have the objectives, we have like learning, of course. We're going to learn a new verb today with its conjugation. So I'll give you the table, you'll look at it, because we're going to use some sentences using these verbs. So it will be good to pause the video then. I don't know, take a screenshot so that we can use this table later on, but I'll tell you later when we get to it. And so let's recap what we did last time in the first video. It was in the first part, and we discussed how does nominative become accusative. And always remember, in order to be able to do the Polish cases, you need to know the nominative, which is the first Polish case. If you don't know the first case, you're not gonna, you're probably gonna find a way to learn it, but it's gonna be harder. So just start with the nominative. Remember, in nominative, which is the basic form of any case, of any word, we say, we ask this question in our head, kto co, which means who and what. And the accusative is kogo co. It means like to who or to what, kind of. Yes, it's like who's being attacked or who's being affected by the who. Yes, so the first who is the subject of the sentence. The second who, which is kogo, is the object of the sentence. So who likes who? The first who is the subject. The who after likes is the object. You need to understand this to be able to understand what is the accusative. Yes. So the accusative is always the object of the sentence. How did this change? We talked about brat becomes brata, so we add a for masculine, for male by grammar. So if it looks male, ends with the consonant, it takes a. You notice stu and dom do not take a because these are masculine inanimate. We talked about this in the previous video. You can go back and watch it. In feminine, it's easier. For feminine, everything that ends with a becomes en, so kobieta, kobietę, and so on and so forth. Notice as well that tata and mężczyzna, these are words that mean father and man. These are like masculine, like they mean that it's man or it's a dad, but they write grammar, they are female, so we treat them as female gender. So we add n instead of. I've also talked about this in the previous one, so let's not get caught up on it in this video. And I said as well that the neutral form, the neutral gender, does not change in accusative, so you don't have to think about it like this. You just need to know which words are neutral. If you don't know the nominative case. So to be able to know which are neutral, which are feminine and masculine, you have to watch the nominative video that I made in one of my videos. It's in the Polish grammar, I think. It's called the nominative case. So go back and see that if you have problems with this. So today we're gonna talk about the accusative case, but in plural. So as I said, in the singular, to be able to know the plural accusative, you need to know the plural nominative. So this here is the plural nominative. You need to master this like these are examples, but you need to know in general how do you identify plural. It's again in the nominative video. So what do you do here? You ask the question kto co, like who is doing or what is doing what. If it's the subject of the sentence, if it's bracia, which is like the plural of brat, like brothers, bracia, this is the plural. This is kind of an exception, so you just have to remember it's gonna be braci. Yeah, so bracia, braci as an accusative. However, usually what we do is that we add uv to the masculine. Yes, uv to masculine if it's what? If it's human, if it's personal. It doesn't mean it has to be animate. It has to be animate, but also human. Yes, personal. So synowie is the plural of syn, which is son. Synów is the form. Yes, don't get too caught up on this. Yes, you just have to memorize it for now. Psy, does not change, means dogs. Why? Because dogs are dogs. They are not humans. Ojcowie, owie, a plural form of masculine, becomes ojców, ów. Stoły does not change because it's inanimate and it's not human at all. Domy, the same thing, and lasy, the same thing. Notice that plural words tend to end with y and so like in here, this is this is y, so or usually I as well. And in this case, like it's kind of an exception. Bracia, yes. Okay, so let's go to female, feminine form. So kto co, kogo co, as we know, kobiety, this is like easy to know because female form do not change. Yes, female form stays the same. So if you know kobieta becomes kobiety and accusative stays kobiety, nothing changes. You need to know the nominative to be able to know this. So the accusative case is kind of easy because, and it's also good to learn it because it helps you understand other cases as well, because it's kind of, it's easier than other cases, but it's not, it's similar to them as well. So you can start by the accusative, learn it, and then the rest will be a tiny bit easier. So kobiety stays the same. So why? Because these are, because the female gender does not change. When we talk about tatowie, yes, and mężczyźni, these have to change. So tatów and mężczyzn, just memorize them. Yes, you don't have to, even if you make mistakes in real life when you speak Polish, it's not a big deal. But you can just, for now, do this. We'll understand it later in later videos. When it comes to the neutral nominative, you should know it, yes, before learning the accusative, plural. So it stays the same. So basically, the plural of the accusative, everything stays the same as nominative except for male, humans, which is like personal males. Yes, so it has to be, I don't know, dads, professors, like in the male character, or I don't know, it's how the language is built. Yes, do not ask me why, just memorize it. Okay, so let's continue. Let's do some examples, and then, but first let's do a recap on when do we use the object, the accusative. So these are the reason why we use them. You can just read them. I've talked about them in the previous video. So if the word is the object of the sentence, you use the biernik for that word, for the object. If you're using the word przez, which means through something, it's not working. If you are using the word po as in meaning to pick something up or somebody up, if you're saying v, na, it's like in or on, but you have to be in motions. For example, I'm going on a trip. Yes, I'm going on, I don't know, in the mountains or whatever. It's better to learn this by examples and so on and so forth. You don't have to worry about all of this stuff. The best part is to learn with examples. I'm gonna make other videos doing examples, so do not worry. Nieść, let's learn this verb before we carry on. Nieść is to carry something, yes. And as you know, as probably know, if you watch other videos of mine, I've explained what's the difference between imperfective and perfective. So there are two different I don't know, it's not working. There are two types of usually verbs in Polish. There are like the imperfective and the perfective. So any verb that is imperfective has to have a perfective for it. So that this is every verb, yes. So nieść is to carry. This is like the most basic form. It has to be a perfective form of it. Usually we add the prefix to it and it becomes zanieść in this case, yes. This is the thing. This is the only thing you need to know for now. I have other videos about verbs, imperfective, and conjugation. You can check that out. I'll try to remember to leave it in the links, like the bio, I don't know, in the description below. So I'll let you take a look at it. The conjugation in the present for all the pronouns. You can take a screenshot and then just do it slowly as we go. So remember, future, past, and present, these are like the tenses, conditional if it means that when you say I would do something, or like I would do something, or something would be done. So here in this case, niósłbym is like I would carry something. The same thing here, you just add za because it has a prefix za. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar with this, you can watch other videos that I've talked about it. Okay, I'll try to link them below. So here are some vocab. You can also take a screenshot of this before we start the example parts. Okay, so pause, take screenshots, and let's continue. So we have examples. Attention, I'm carrying glass. Translate this to Polish. I'll give you time, or you can pause the video. Okay, so time's up. So uwaga, niosę szkło. Attention, niosę, yes, the same thing as the table. Szkło is glass. So szkło does not change because this is what? Neutral. Yes, neutral do not change. He will bring you coffee. Pause the video. Time is up. On zaniesie ci kawę. Tak, he will bring you coffee. Of course, if you're wondering, there are like many ways you can write this down. Yes, you can use the word będzie niósł, but that means slightly differently. It doesn't. If you said on zaniesie ci kawę, or if you said on będzie niósł, it's also correct. Okay. So kawa, kawę, yes, because it's biernik feminine. We'll get to the plural in a minute. They carried this story to France. Time is up. Zanieśli tę historię do Francji. They carried this story to France. Okay? Okay, next one. Time's up. Zaniósłbyś ze mną moje ubrania? So moje ubrania does not change because this is what? Ubranie is the singular form, which is ending with e, so this is the neutral. Because it ends with e, so the plural form is going to be ending with a, so ubrania, this is neutral. Neutral does not change, yes, in accusative, so everything stays the same as in nominative plural. Remember, these are nominative singular, nominative plural. We'll see more examples. Thanks for bringing their bags from the car. Okay, so I'm going to show you the answer. Dziękuję za zaniesienie ich bagaży z samochodu. So thanks for carrying. You can just, maybe you have written as well, niesienie without zaniesienie is also correct. You don't have to worry about this. Okay? So, their bags is the, I hope the one that you changed, or like you consider as being the word of interest, because this is the object, but in this case, bagaży does not change. Why? Because it's not human, it's plural, masculine, but not human, so it stays the same as the nominative form, okay? It might be hard to grasp at the beginning. This is, by the way, plural and not singular, so this is plural. Bagaży, bagage is singular. There's a mistake here. I see a butterfly, so I'm going to show you the answer right now. Widzę motyla, motyl, motyla. Yes, so it's a masculine. It ends with it. It doesn't mean it's a feminine because it's a butterfly. I know some people think that butterflies are feminine just because they are butterflies. In Polish, the word ends with L. That's a consonant, so it makes it singular, masculine. So it's going to end with A, Y, because it's an animate. Here, we don't care if it's human or not. It has to be animate in singular. If it's singular, inanimate, it gets the accusative form. I know it's complicated, but I don't know. You can rewatch the video again. The more you watch, the better, I think. Oh, sorry. So I will ask my mom tomorrow. The answer will be jutro zapytam mamę. You could have said as well, jutro będę pytał mamę. You can say both. Like, they're both correct, yes? Zapytam is, like, sounds better. So mama is the word of interest. Why? Because this is the object of the sentence. I'm gonna ask who, I'm gonna ask my mother. I'm gonna ask kogo, my mother, or like mother. Here you don't have to say, in Polish you don't have to say my, like moją mamę, if you don't want to. You can just say mame. I know that you're talking about your mother, unless you want to specify otherwise. Okay? I have one brother. Mam jednego brata. So jeden brat, that's the word of interest. This is the noun, ends with a T, so that's that's masculine singular. In accusative, it's gonna be brata. It's the object of the sentence. It's the person who is the action being done on. So he is the one being owned, kind of, by me. Like, it sounds bad. It sounds weird, but it doesn't. This is not the point. Here, by the way, jeden is an adjective. Usually, adjectives for accusative take ego if it's masculine. Yeah, just like you could know others. Okay, so let's do some exercises, more exercises. You can take a screenshot of this and do it on your own and then see the correct answers. I'm going to show them in a second and I'll read them for you. So 3, 2, and 1. Write the adequate words. So czytałem dobrą książkę. Notice as well, książka is the noun of interest. It's the object of the sentence. It's going to be książkę. The basic form is książka, so the nominative is książka, the accusative is książkę. Dobra książka, dobrą książkę. The adjectives has to take the own of when it's feminine. Yes, you could just keep this in mind. Chciałbym przeczytać list, który napisałeś. I would like to read the letter that you wrote. So list does not change. Why? Because this is not animate. So it will not change. Okay. Widzę tam mężczyzn. So I told you to remember how mężczyzna will change to mężczyzn when it's plural accusative. It's hard. I know it's hard. It's confusing. You have to rewatch the video, both of them, maybe on 1.5 speed, but then you'll understand it better. Kupię kurczaka. Kurczaka. Pytam tatę, czy może z nami wyjść. I'm asking my father if he can go out with us. Dobrze znam moją siostrę. I know my sister very well. Na półkach znajdują się książki. So książki does not change because this is plural. Anything plural does not change except if it's masculine plural humans or personal plural. Kocham mojego psa. Pies becomes psa. Mój pies, mojego psa. So you add ego, as we said before. So for masculine you add ego. For feminine you add on as an adjective. Yeah. I think this is it. Yes. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like the video if you really liked it or enjoyed it or found it beneficial. Thank you. See you.